So, Nintendo had to release their tips and tricks video on the day that I was recording for mine, right? Well, that's okay. I actually can add to theirs and even go further on the tips that they gave and give you some of my own. So alright, this is 6 tips and tricks for beginners in Mario Strikers Battle League. Some will be more obvious than others, but all for beginner level players. Number 1. Nintendo mentioned dashing, and that's all good. Yes, remember there's a stamina meter to it, but what they didn't tell you is that the meter, quote unquote, obviously for one can't be seen, but we can see the streaks of your team's color behind your character as you use the dash button. The meter essentially is here because you'll see the team color fade out to gray until your character is sweating and all of that. Number 2. Learn the controls. I know, I'm not trying to be Captain Obvious here. It's just that compared to previous Strikers games, I do believe that the controls are slightly just more numerous and slightly less intuitive. It's not by leaps and bounds, it's just like the A button, for example, is to shoot, not to pass. I don't know why, but something in me wanted to use B for shooting and A for passing just when I first picked it up, but it's easy muscle memory and you can do this. The tutorial lessons will help you out a lot, actually. Number 3. Be ready in what I call deflection position after your team does a hyper strike, but specifically any that are below the blue strike meters, meaning the goalie Boom Boom has a chance to deflect it or have the ball bounce back out. It won't always go within range of your shot 100% of the time, but most of the time I noticed during the playtests that you could just hang out right by Boom Boom and await the moment that the ball goes loose. Nintendo's strategy video also mentions this whole thing, so like if you're the defending team, by the way, make sure that you clear the other players out if they're waiting for the deflection, and also you can be ready to do a deflect of your own maybe by rapidly either just pressing A to clear it like a shot or B or Y to get a pass going immediately when that ball gets loose. Number 4. When your own goalie gets the ball, if you feel like you're a little bit flustered or just want more of a reset, we can call it, have Boom Boom roll the ball to either wing's corner, top or bottom, like you see on screen. It's generally going to be the least cluttered of areas and allow you to just even reset mentally, regaining control of the situation. Take your time if needed. During the playtests in First Kick, I had only one team that would actually come and tackle my wing players. First off, that'll give your team items if you have any free slots available for them, but beyond that, this would then allow you to do the opposite with Boom Boom, right? Which is throw to someone much further downfield. This would allow you to gain some ground, gain some distance, so ultimately it's mostly a win-win if you just kind of keep a cool head on that. Number 5. This sounds really simple, I know, but just please keep in mind that the opponent can see the arrows in front of your character whenever you're charging your tackle, so the idea is not really to hold it for a super long time before executing that tackle. A beginner player might be thinking something like, I'm gonna start holding down Y for the tackle right now so that it's ready whenever I run into somebody. But no, you'll want to practice in the tutorial maybe first, but also just like play a few matches and get a feel for the fact that your charge tackle, it is useful, but shouldn't just be used without any discipline to it. Number 6. Again, this is for beginners. I don't entirely know how obvious or not to go with some of these, but just in case. Play keep away whenever the other team has the strike orb. Pass it. Hold on to it. The best thing possible actually is your goalie holding it because the opponents can't really mess with Boom Boom in any way. So if possible, hold on to it and delay Boom Boom's kick or roll of the ball to your team whenever Boom Boom has it while the opponents have the strike orb active. And so not only will the players be highlighted and shiny with their team's color when they have the orb, but you'll also see a bar of the color up in the top left or right depending on which team they are, and that bar is actually going to flash with the players when the strike orb is about to run out of time. So like I say, I don't know just how deeply beginner or obvious we wanted to go with all these tips, but I think it was better just to not overload everybody. Playing through the tutorial is going to help you actually, unlike other games where you can be okay just skipping it. Honestly, there are so many other tips and tricks that I can give off, but I figured these are the most beginner level that haven't been really mentioned or expanded on already in Nintendo's official video, which I can link to for anyone's reference as well. Catch me on streams for the game regularly from day one, content here on the end screens on screen, and of course, thanks for viewing. Get down, down tonight. Charge that tackle right. And when I get that orb alight, we all hyper strike.